Well, I'm happy to address job creation because as a small business owner, this is something that's really been concerning me, not just this year, but in years past as I try to make payroll and make things work for my business. This is an area where we know that the engine of growth ultimately is not going to be the government. The government is filling a gap right now and is helping to boost the economy and get it back on track. But what's ultimately going to lead to our economic success in this district and in others is small businesses. That's something that I know a lot about. So I know as a CPA, I know the sort of tax reform that will help small businesses. As a business owner myself, I know the sort of incentives that can help small business owners. I know that access to credit is absolutely critical. So those are some of the things I want to look at. Another thing, and this is a little bit of a different subject, but something for you all to watch, is in the southern end of the district, the quadrennial defense review just came out, and they're recommending that we move a carrier that's Norfolk down to Mayport, Florida. This would mean 11,000 job losses in Virginia. Some of those would be in the first and some of those would be in other districts. But that's something that I'm tremendously concerned about, that we're going to have to pay attention to and make sure that our representatives are arguing forcefully for keeping that carrier in Norfolk.
Job creation. If you go back to anything, my website, ScottRobinsonForCongress.com. If you go to the website, you'll see that if you go all the way down the bottom, every interview that I've ever done, the very first thing I always say, the number one issue is jobs. It has been that way since I kicked off the campaign, and it looks like it's going to be that way the whole time. And then they said, well, how are you going to do it? Well, I've been to D.C., I've met with different leaders, and they all say the same thing. Scott, the 1st Congressional District is probably the best piece of real estate in the country for job development. You've got a great location. You've got Norfolk and Newport News down south. You've got Richmond. You've got D.C. up north. It forms a perfect triangle. You've got infrastructure. You've got rail. You've got airport. You've got a port. You've got 4-lane highways going east, west. An educated workforce. You have an educated workforce. I'll put my colleges up against any colleges in the country. Mary Washington, William and Mary, Christopher Newport, the community college, Rappahannock Community College. But the one thing we don't have, and we're not going to create any jobs in the 1st Congressional District, is until we bring technology to the district. I have been pressing that the entire 5 months. We have to bring broadband throughout the entire district. We cannot do it.